I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. It is Thursday, November 6th. Kiddos, welcome in to everybody watching and listening live on YouTube, on X, and of course the Puck Sports mobile app. Now, if this is into the future, you can always watch it live on all those platforms. Now, you can, if you're watching it live, and in case you miss anything, everything is up on all the wonderful podcast platforms, as always, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and pucksports.com. Coming up on the show today, happy Major League Baseball Free Agent Day. It gets underway in about 4 hours from now, and hopefully there's some good news on the Mariners. Mike Garafolo joins us in a few minutes, talking all things National Football League, get his reaction to the Seahawks trade and other moves there in the NFL. It is another edition of the world-renowned KJ-Arent Live with Mitch Levy, the stupendous host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast empire. And that will come up a little bit later in the show. A reminder, as always, it airs in its entirety during the Daily Puck Drop. But once the live show is over, the only place that you can catch it is if you are a Puck's Posse member. Sign up today for as little as $5 at pucksports.com. You can also get access via being a patron for Mitch Unfiltered. We'll do on this day in this world of sports and non-sports. And hey, what the puck coming up a little bit later as we wrap up the show. As always on the Daily Puck Drop, we broadcast from the Limbach Lumber Studios. Big thanks to Paul and Matt and the entire crew over there at Limbach Lumber. They're going to take care of you of all your lumber needs. Contractors, do-it-yourselfers, they treat you the same at Limbach Lumber. They're going to help you with all of your projects, and they will assist you with anything and everything that you have. They've been doing it since 1930. When I say they truly are the nicest people maybe I've ever met, I'm not exaggerating. They are the nicest people I have ever met. Give them a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them at limbachlumber.com. They're a lot like Georgetown is Limbach Lumber. They just keep giving back and back and back to the community. And Paul, and we'll have more on this, I think, coming up a little bit later as we get closer to the holidays. I know we're there already. They do amazing work for the Ballard Food Bank and everything that's going on right now. Certainly an important time to sponsor the Ballard Food Bank and any food bank that is located near you. But we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. You can follow me on all the social media platforms real quick. Puck Sports everywhere except for TikTok. It's Puck_sports. And I mentioned before, pucksports.com. Sign up to become a member of the Puck's Posse. All right, we mentioned this. We'll talk to Garafolo here coming up soon. And then it's KJ-Arent Live with Mitch Levy. And then on this day, and then Hey, What the Puck to wrap up the show here on a Thursday. But happy Major League Baseball Free Agent Day. Yes, I know the season just ended. And maybe you've buried your head in the sand because of how the season ended for the Mariners and you didn't watch the World Series. Although you would be probably the only person that did not watch the World Series. Quick footnote, by the way, numbers came out on Game 7. Combined television audience for the U.S., Japan, and Canada, 51 million people watched Game 7. I don't think the sport is dying. I think it's still going to stick around for a while. This whole Major League Baseball thing, I think it's got something. It's going to stay, I think, for a while. But today is now officially where players can sign. And, of course, we will turn all of our attention. Here on Puck Sports, there is only one priority for this offseason. Well, there's not only one, but there's a number one. There's only number one priority. Okay? There's a number one priority, and that is the portly, not smiling, left-handed first baseman. Goes by the name of Josh Naylor. Okay, that's where we are putting our eggs, all of our eggs in that basket of Josh Naylor, and hopefully he comes home. But Josh Naylor at 2 o'clock today officially can sign with anyone. Of course, he had the cryptic message, I think, on Instagram to Cal Raleigh. Hey, it was great this year, and we'll see you down the road. And everyone's like, Jesus, what does that mean? Well, hopefully he was just bargaining with people online. We'll wait and see what they do with that. Asking price, who knows? Anywhere 90, 100 plus $1 million for Josh Naylor. The Athletic just did a great story on just talking about the top 50 free agents in baseball. I think he comes in, according to the Athletic and those guys, 13th or 14th. And they threw out the figure of 4 years and $92 million. So probably in that realm, somewhere there. For Jorge Polanco, along with Eugenio Suarez, both are free agents there as well. It seems like Seattle would turn their attention more so to Polanco than to Suarez. I think that makes a lot of sense. He's going to certainly be cheaper, is Jorge Polanco. But because you don't have an answer there at DH, and I guess Suarez could just be your DH too. Now that I think about it. But I think if you're going to pick between the two, you're going to take the younger option and the better overall hitter with Polanco over Suarez. Yes, do they have anything firm at third base? No, they don't have anything firm at third base. But at least they have options where they really, honestly, when you think of Naylor, they got no options at first base, 0 there. And then for Polanco, no really options at DH, and certainly you've got the ability to put Cole Young there. We'll get more into baseball coming up later in the show, and more figures on the free agency, which free agency starting at 2 o'clock today. Again, another live version of KJ-Arent's coming up with Mitch Levy from the Mitch Unfiltered podcast comes your way here in a little bit. And a reminder, again, airs during the live show, but once the live show is over, only place to catch it is if you are a Pucks Posse member. He joins us every single Thursday. I've been watching him all week, every single morning. He's been in my living room because he's been on the NFL Network. He's out in wonderful Los Angeles. I believe he's back home on the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, from the NFL Network, it is our good friend Mike Garafolo, who joins us every week, brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance and Zogs on Fox Island. Of course, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, as Mike knows and as everyone knows, it is your trusted insurance experts, family-owned. They've been doing business since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley. Again, not playing golf right now, probably severely drinking himself into a stupor. 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game, and check out their hours on Facebook and Instagram. Well, how was the best coast? How was the best coast for the week?
I don't know. I was in before the sun came up on Tuesday, and it was dark when I left, so I didn't even see it. So I didn't even, go out there. It's like great weather, and I was inside all day long. So
it's too bad. It's too bad. Hey, we don't start it. You and I usually have good times here. We talk about the NFL. We talk about our kids and family, and boy, the NFL world, a tragedy hitting the league today. Sad news out of the NFL with a very young defensive lineman there for the Dallas Cowboys, Marshawn Nealon, passing away earlier this morning, self-inflicted a gunshot wound, and just a tragedy that has hit the Cowboys in the NFL, Mike.
Yeah, and it's it's brought back a few. You occasionally have to deal with this. And covering the NFL, Jovan Belcher with the Kansas City Chiefs years ago. When you think about that one, and you don't know what's going on. You don't. It's hard to know what's going on in somebody's head. And there was a car accident today, or last night, I should say, involving him, and then some kind of a chase or fleeing. And for whatever reason, he decided it was too much, and he ended his life. So. It's I'm sure we'll learn more about it in the days to come, but it's not a you hear what people thought about him and what his teammates thought about him, and all of a sudden you're dealing with this. It's just yeah. I know what life is. I know that life is hard for anybody, for everybody. It's hard for me. It's hard for you. I'm sure it's hard for a lot of people. And then when you throw the NFL on top of it, and millions of dollars on top of it, and the pressures of everything, and we were talking about Marshawn Nealon when Micah Parsons was traded as, hey, here's a group of guys that are second round draft picks for these guys, and who's going to step up, and who knows what the pressure of that was like for him, and all this stuff, and what's going on in the guy's personal life. Just sucks.
Yeah, and I just echo what you said earlier. It is just a reminder. Sports or not sports, you just don't know what someone is going through. You have no idea. When you're at a grocery store, or somebody's waiting on you, and they have a bad response to you, or a bad interaction with you, you just don't know what's going on in their personal life. What has allowed them to be so upset today. And yeah, it's another sad reminder of that, because it feels like it's, and reading the stories with Marshawn Nealon, and seeing pictures of him, and hearing people talk about him, or read about people describing him, you never see it with guys like this, because he just seems like he's a happy guy. Everyone likes him. He's likable, and it always seems to be the cases with people like that who end up doing it.
Yeah, and we're hearing bits and pieces of it, and and I know TMZ had some pieces of it, and the police gave scant details on it for now. If Marshawn Nealon had cooperated with the police, or maybe that's the right word, but if basically he had received the consequences of whatever his actions were in that moment, it would not have ended his life. It would not have, and I mean that in a figurative standpoint, right? Like, it wasn't a significant thing going on, and you wonder if it's like the thought of, oh, I'm going to be arrested for this, and I'm going to be suspended for this, and I'm going to be shamed for the thing on my mind right now. And Dan Wetzel wrote this unbelievable story that was, as I told him at the time, it was too good. I wish it wasn't that good, because it was so such an image of what this generation is dealing with regard to shame, which drives them to make decisions like this. And it was about a Nigerian scam, a bunch of Nigerian guys who scammed this young athlete into sending a picture of his private parts of what he thought was a girl online, and the next thing you know, within an hour or whatever it was, he's ending his life. And that's the scariest thing for me as a parent, is this notion of social media driven shame, and we love to point fingers, and the old adage of, you're pointing one, three's pointing back at you, could never be more truer than it is right now. And it's what I've been thinking about all morning, man.
Hey,
I don't know. Listen, we cover this stuff all the time, and for this one for some reason is just rattled me. I don't know.
Well, because I think when you see someone like this at the age of, he's 24.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never an appropriate age, but 24, he's got his.
Yeah. And I know his agent very well. His agent, who released a statement today, and as I said on Good Morning Football today, I know when I say agent what people think of, and it's Ari from the hell's the show on HBO? I can't
Entourage.
Think of it today. Entourage. And money grabbing leeches and all that. And that's why a lot of times when players are coming into the draft and they get, they don't have an agent, and I hear people lauding that, I say, okay, it's great. Like, I understand that, because you're thinking like, oh, nobody's making money off of this guy or whatever. Agents do so much more than contracts. And I know that John Persley, who is the agent for Marshawn Nealon, wishes he could have done more right now, I'm sure. And I know, but I know how much he did for him, and I know how much he's done for other. I was talking to an agent earlier today who said, I had a guy recently who was struggling with this kind of stuff and was contemplating suicide, and I got him help. He's doing better. I hope he stays on that path. Like, for 3% of your contract, you could have your life saved. These guys the good ones, know what it's really about. And I know he tried his best in this case, and I know he's probably beating himself up, and he shouldn't. Stuff.
You brought up we'll get to football here in a second, but you brought up something that I think about a lot, and I deal with it every single day, you know, with a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old, both with cell phones and social media and all that. And I'm with you. I actually, we had this conversation last week with my daughter. I said, I wish you would have grown up in the time that I grew up. And it's not because it's our time was better and we were better people. It's not that. To grow up in a time where you didn't have this thing attached to you all the time, but it allowed, and I said, it's not even just that, it's, I know where you're at 24 hours a day. I just have to look at my phone and tell, well, you're at Kimmy's house, so I know you're there. But when I was a teenager and a kid, when we were, all right, Mom, I'm going over to Brian's house. I'll see you later. I wasn't going to Brian's house. I was going to Tommy's house, and Tommy and I were sneaking out because Tommy's parents weren't home. There was just a sense of freedom back then that, and I think you grew up a little bit more faster, a little bit more street smart than I think some of these kids are now today. But I worry about that social media stuff all the time. It's why and I think more parents should do it. I don't think enough parents do it, because I know a lot of parents that are my kids' age. Oh, I don't ever look at it. I go through their phones all the time, all the time, for that very reason, because you don't know what they send out or something happens. And this isn't like old school where you're talking shit to some kid at school. You'll get your ass kicked, and then it's over. This thing, whatever happens, it just gets passed along. And then it's just that social media, that mob that's on that. That's worse than anything we ever dealt with, I think.
Well, the interaction is not, what you talked about. You get your ass kicked, or you'd have to look somebody in the eye and tell them what you're saying so easily behind your phone and your keyboard. And I think that's the shame part of it. And there seems to be some element of that. Look, there's more at play here. I don't want to boil this down to one simple thing, but there seemed to be some element of, based on his communication with others today or last night, I can't go to jail, or I can't be caught here, or whatever. It's like, you would have been okay, Marshawn. I mean, I okay from a standpoint of whatever the consequences were, was not going to end your NFL career, was not going to put you in jail. Maybe even at all, right? Like, there may have been some kind of fine or community service or whatever was going to happen. Again, there's going to be more. We're going to find out more. We may never understand it, but we try to cover a game. We try to laugh about it and have a good time about it, and talk about gyms and bets with you and stuff like that. And every now and then you get smacked in the face, and
it's life. That's what it is. We'll try to talk a little. We'll try to talk a little football.
Come on, let's go.
If
let's
we
do
can.
it.
All right. You son. You know what? I know who pays your check. I get it. You and I told people this. We sat down. You were gracious to give me like a couple of minutes of your time right before you guys were going to do your trade coverage on the NFL Network, and we probably recorded, I want to say 9:45ish, probably Pacific. And I was going to play it right at the top. Well, actually, I was going to play it later, and then I'm like, that's dumb, because something's going to happen. I'm going to play it right at the top. It was like 5 or 6 minutes, and we discussed everything. What Woolen going to be traded? Are they in the market for a wide receiver?
Yeah. Well, tell them what I said.
Well, I can't even remember what you said. You said, well, yeah, I think they're in the market, but you could have just said, winked at me and said, yes, they're getting this guy. And then 5 minutes later, after I get done, it's like 9:59, or maybe I don't even 9:55. The Seahawks have traded for Rashid Shaheed, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Well, I can't play that now. You could have just said, wait, like mouthed it. They trade. Now, when you were on your phone and you kept looking at it.
Quinnen.
That was the Quinnen trade?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought maybe it was the Sauce Gardner.
Yes, that was the Quinnen. Well, okay, so here's what happened. And in reality, they did a really good job of keeping this super tight, tight.
Who's they?
The Colts and the Jets.
Okay.
Super tight. Because so Kyle Brandt was in the building that day, and he was doing a one-on-one with Daniel Jones. Is going to air on Sunday, in which there will be no questions about Sauce because it hadn't happened yet. And Kyle on air the next day was like, everybody was acting like nothing was coming down the chute, and like nobody was like, I said, because they didn't know, Kyle. They didn't know. It was 20 minutes away. I'm telling you, they didn't know. They kept it super tight. So when we were recording, one, I fully expected the Shaheed trade. Two, I didn't know for sure that Quinnen was going to be dealt at that point. But we started to text in between to one another. And I was waiting. So Shaheed kind of got buried in all that because Sauce's first post was like some kind of sketchy emoji. And I thought it was a reference to Quinnen. So I start, oh my God, Sauce is going to blow it for us. Sauce knows. And then the second one was, New York, it's been real. And I was like, well, hold on. Did we get this wrong? Like, is it not Quinnen? Is it Sauce? And then at one point it was like, no, wait a minute. He's messing with everybody. Like he's going to be like, no, it wasn't me. It was my teammate. And then Ian's like, oh my God, it's real. I was like, what do you mean it's, oh my God, it's real. And so that hits. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, timeout. Are we right about Quinnen? And a short while after, I felt like it was all 5 minutes. I'm sure it was 50 minutes. We get this like, oh, hold on, everybody stand by. It's coming. It's coming. It's happening. So anyway, all that being said, what I said to you in the now deleted or lost tapes of the Daily Puck Drop was that I would expect the Seahawks to make a move, not to fill a hole, but to strengthen an already perceived strength.
Yeah, you could have just. I'd keep an eye out on Shaheed for the Saints. That's what I would have liked.
Don't say who I work for. It's like listen, because also, until it's done, I don't know that it's done. Yeah. So,
how long? Anyway. How long do you know? How long this had been in the works? Is this something they've been working on for a while?
They had talked. I mean, Shaheed was a known trade block commodity for a couple of weeks. And New Orleans was trying to get a 3. It's like, all right, we're sitting on an offer of a 4 and a 5, or whatever it was till they sweetened it to the point where it was done. But you're kind of sitting on that and saying, well, if somebody comes in, we get a 3, then we can get something better for him. So it had been in the works for a while. And listen, you guys, I don't remember if you asked me directly about it, but you had made the connection because it's a Clint Kubiak guy, and that he's going to. One of the reasons we didn't see trades for years was like, the onboarding process. But because there's so much overlap with NFL systems and borrowing from college and things that guys had done in recent years, now it's like, okay, we can get guys caught up and acclimated a lot quicker these days. Plus with the iPads and the learning process and the ability to do that stuff. So it had been talked about, it had been mentioned, and it was just a matter of like, well, are they really going to do this? And it's like, yeah, if they're going to meet our price, we'll get it done. If not, we won't do it. So
is there a message or a signal at all of how they think that Cooper Kupp's going to recover from? He had the heel, now he's got a hamstring, or do you think they pull this off no matter what, even if he were perfectly healthy?
Yeah, I do, because it's a different element. It's a vertical threat. And as difficult as JSN has been to cover right now, he's going to be that much harder to cover when you've got to worry about safeties being on your heels rather than your toes. So now you've got a vertical element. It's just, this is a formidable offense that now, on top of that, they want to be able to run the football. This will help that as well, because you got to respect everything that's going to happen potentially over the top of you. So this is now a complete offense. I look at these guys and I go, okay, how do you defend them? And we haven't said that in a long time about the Seahawks and their offense. How do you defend them? So I do like the Seahawks. I like the Colts going for it at this point, because it's like, Sam Darnold's it's not like, oh boy, we're in our third year with our quarter. Like, he's in the meat of his prime at this point. And how long is it going to last? We don't know. Is this a guy that's going to play into his 40s? Probably not. So now's the time to go for it. Now's the time to be aggressive, and they are, and good for them. Let's see.
You ever cover college football?
No, I mean very, very, very minimally. When I was at the Associated Press in Philly, I covered all four majors and college, a lot of college hoops, but not a lot of college football because Temple was the only one Division I school in the area, and they stunk.
Okay.
But Temple, was it Temple? I think Temple played Pitt at the Link, and Larry Fitzgerald was at Pitt and just made some unbelievable catches in that game. That was a fun game to cover. I think I did Army Navy once or twice when I was at the Link as well. But other than that, not much. But
let's pretend like on Sunday night in the NFL, just like college football would have the Associated Press top 25 rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to, and I know they kind of do it the power rankings, but this is an official. The reporters and writers that cover the sport come out of their rankings every week based off what they did. Where would you put Seattle right now if you had a vote?
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, the NFL has power rankings, right? NFL.com.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same. I'm just like an official rankings that come out.
I mean, I'd put them above Green Bay, who previously was considered the tops in the NFC. I'd put them above the Eagles right now. Rams, Seahawks, neutral field. I'm trying to think of who wins that game.
Okay. But we're doing not just the NFC, the entire league.
I'm starting in the NFC. I'm trying to think of like if they're my number one team in the NFC, can I put them? Okay, so now let's say they're 1-2 in the NFC, 1-2. Okay, because they're no lower than that. They're not third in my mind.
Okay,
right now the way they're playing, so they're 1-2. AFC. Did they beat the Bills? I like them better than the Bills right now. I do. Did they beat the Chiefs? Tough one. God, I like the Chiefs right now. I really do. Really like the Chiefs. All right, I got them top three to four in the NFL.
It's just so. That's amazing. No, I'm laughing just because I think a lot of people out here. Maybe I won't speak for everyone. Very surprised how this season has gone so far. I think people thought they'd be good, but the biggest question mark was number 14. You know, because you just didn't know what you were going to get. This guy is coming off a performance on Sunday night, Mike,
dude,
where you're just like shaking your head. He's so damn good.
Previously Twitter, I say previously Twitter because that's when the app was actually good. X is now just like they do some stuff right now, and it's just like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
There's no reason to change this to what you're doing now. For some reason I've tried to upload videos every now and then, and they don't fire. I don't know why. Yeah. And I was trying to during the course of that game the other day when they had the 16 straight incompletions or completions, whatever it was. I was trying to put the clip of Mike McDonald on top of it where he goes, there's some shit to him. Don't mess with him from June. Remember that one?
Yeah. Sure.
He's got some dog in him or whatever he was saying. I just couldn't get it to fire. And I was like, man, that would have been a great post in the middle of that game. And I also remember him being asked about a quarterback controversy, which you then asked me about. And I was kind of like, not that I'm aware of.
There was a report. There was a person in town that asked the head coach of the team if there was going to be a quarterback controversy with Jalen fucking Milroe. Like that, like a legitimate fucking question to the head coach of the team. Like, Jesus, man. God, he thought he's not. What are we talking about?
Good thing we're going to edit you in post after that one there.
Oh, my Lord. No, you can swear on here. You can.
I know you can. But that's the first I've ever heard two F-bombs in 10 seconds from you. That was great.
Dumb. I just remember that question thinking, what the hell? All right.
I remember McDonald's reaction to it was like,
he was like dumbfounded. He was like, yes. what are we doing here? What are you like? Maybe ask me about Drew Lock and maybe I'll dance with you for a second on Lock, but not the rookie quarterback who hasn't been able to show that he can actually throw the football. All right. I got a feeling, you tell me if my feeling is wrong. Because all we heard leading up to the trade deadline from a lot of people was, man, I don't know what's going on in Seattle, but something is brewing big. It just feels like they're working on something big. Now, Shaheed is a great deal. It's a very good deal. Wouldn't say that's a big deal.
No.
I got a feeling that they tried to go to the Raiders, maybe threw out Woolen and something else to try to get Max Crosby. Am I barking up the right tree there?
Trey Hendrickson, they investigated all that stuff for sure. Yeah, there's no question they had those conversations. Yeah. So, but that doesn't mean they're working on it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess working on it would have been Sauce Gardner, and if you had cracked that one and like, hey, they're working on this, and I never got the sense that anything was really close in that regard. But I
Wait.
guess close is relative. I mean, you're always, if you don't make that call, it's malpractice, right? That's like, oh, the Eagles are having conversations with how he talks to all 31 other teams. Of course, if you don't, you're not doing your job.
Did you hint that the Seahawks called about Sauce Gardner?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that they did. I don't know. I don't know. So the only thing I said about Sauce, and I didn't, maybe somebody else did, I don't know. But the only thing I said about Sauce leading up to the trade deadline, I was like, hey, keep an eye on Breece Hall, keep an eye on Quinnen Williams. I did have one defensive coach ask me, you think they would trade Sauce? And I went back to that coach and I said, did you know they were going to trade him? He's like, no, I was just legitimately asking you, do you think they would trade him? Because, well, gosh, our team would have loved to have had him. And he wound up being right. So I guess it's a great lesson in, there's probably no name that you could mention where teams wouldn't take calls on him. I'm sure during the course of Patrick Mahomes' career, the Chiefs have gotten a call. Would you trade Patrick Mahomes, right? It's just like doesn't make for a conversation, right?
Yeah, there's I can't remember exactly who the team or the GM is. I think it's Utah. I think Utah in the NBA back in the 90s called the Bulls every year about Jordan. And
really?
said, what does it take?
Well, there you
just to do it, just to see. You never know. You never know.
They're calling on that guy. They're calling on everybody.
Do you understand what the Jets were doing? I mean, they trade first round.
Yes.
Those both were 2 first-round picks to get first-round picks back. But no idea if those picks they ever get back are ever as good as those 2 guys. You understand what they're doing?
I do. And honestly, there was enough Jet fans, including my buddy, who is a huge Jets fan, who used to be in the NFL. He's now not in the NFL anymore, but he knows football. And he was telling me before that he goes, if we trade Breece Hall, I'm out of here. Which he was not out of here. He's a Jet fan for life. But I'm like, that's a good player. He goes, who they should trade is Quinnen Williams. Get him out of here. He's like, and Sauce too. You can get him out of here So it went bang, bang. And I'm getting texts from him. I got the Trump dance from him. He sent me that one, that GIF. He said, I almost drove off the road when I heard it pop on the radio. He was so happy. Joe Benigno was so happy. Like hardcore Jet fans, a lot of them would tell you that these guys were not worth their salt. Now, I do think that a lot of it was penalties, and a lot of times when you're playing tight coverage, you're gonna get flagged. The really good ones are able to not get flagged and still play that tight coverage. It's incredible. But I think the Colts would say, like, yeah, fine, whatever. You think he wasn't there? Your whole organization stinks, right? Like that's what they would say with some truth serum, and like watch him come here and he's going to play incredible in Lou Anarumo's defense, which I think he probably will. So,
all right, one last thing for you: were they close to trading Reek Woolen, or was it? How was the interest in the Woolen sweepstakes?
There was interest, but I think 4 weeks ago, I would have said they're going to, and they may have, again, truth serum may have told you they were going to, but I think he played well. They started to play better. Is he a perfect fit for the scheme? No, which is why, by the way, he's going to still make a lot of money in the spring, but also he's been playing well. So you don't just trade away corners. I mean, look at the Eagles. They're like, give us Jair Alexander, who was a healthy scratch for the Ravens because we need corners here. Why would a team that's in contention trade away a cornerback?
Yeah.
I think that's what it came down to. And he's playing well. He'll be a hot name come the spring in free agency. He's not a problem at all. He's not like a disgruntled player. So he'll be fine there. And he just plays out the string and okay, great. And then in the spring, he probably heads somewhere else. And then they get compensatory picks back for him. So I wouldn't say ever close. I think probably it was trending that way, and then it was trending the other way.
Hey, last one more. I lied. One last thing. Raiders Broncos tonight. I know you're going to be on the NFL Network for your Thursday night football coverage. Broncos big favorites in it. There's got to be a likely chance this is one and done for Carroll. No?
I think so. I think it's a non-zero chance for sure. Yeah. I mean, this is not. Yeah. And we sort of, that's why I said with Antonio Pierce last year, it's like they canned him after 1 year. It's like, well, wow. I mean, he didn't even have a quarterback. At least Pete's got a quarterback that's won games before. But Chip Kelly there's no way he's back next year. So it's at the very least some major shakeups on the coaching staff. And then you got to look as to whether you want to make a change at head coach as well, which you'd then be paying 1, 2, 4 coaches, I think. I think they're still paying Josh McDaniels. So it's a lot of money to be doling out. Good thing Mark Davis got backers now, because it used to be that the Raiders didn't have the cash flow to be able to handle this kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, Mike, thank you so much. Appreciate in great words at the beginning there on Marshawn Kneeland. Appreciate the perspective on that. Thanks for always jumping on every single week, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
You got it, dude. See you, Puck.
There he is, Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network, with us every single Thursday talking all things NFL. And in case you came into it late, go back and watch or listen to the show later on his thoughts there on Marshawn Kneeland, the young defensive lineman there for the Dallas Cowboys, who died early this morning, according to reports, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And again, Mike with us every single week, brought to you by Hartley & Hartley Insurance. Again, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Give him a call. Jamie Hartley is going to take care of you. 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. A great spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game. Zogs on Fox Island. Check out Facebook and Instagram for their hours and event times. All right, coming up next, here he is. He's back. It's another edition of KJ-Arent with Mitch Levy, host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Entire show airs during the live daily puck drop, but once the live show concludes, the only way to catch KJ-Arent is to join Puck's Posse at pucksports.com or to become a patron at MitchUnfiltered.com. But first, before we talk to Mitch, let's get a word from two of our sponsors, Georgetown Brewery and Flat Stick Pub.
Drink Georgetown Tavern Beer, your new locally brewed domestic-style lager. 4.2% alcohol. Cheap, good, local.
If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. All right, here we go. It's another edition of KJ-Arent Live with Mitch Levy from the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mitchie. There you put him on. There you go.
I can't see. I can't
leave
see.
Him on. Leave him on.
I can't see. I can't see a damn thing.
God, you look good.
Who
would ever think that you're part of the Gambino crime family? See, as a Mitch Unfiltered member, I guess I didn't have to be a member for this one, but even though I am a Mitch Unfiltered member, on this week's free show, I learned that you were playing poker and some woman across the table thought you were part of an organized crime family.
She asked me if I was in the mob, if I was in the mafia. And I started to laugh, and I thought it was very funny.
God, that's
and then
great.
I looked around thinking that everybody would be laughing at the table with me, and no.
You should have leaned into it. I would have leaned into it.
So the reaction of our listeners, or listener, as the case may be, is that I look like some actor on White Lotus, who is also in some mob movies. There's been some emails and some tweets.
Sopranos.
Picture.
Yeah.
Sopranos, was he in? I didn't watch The Sopranos. So apparently there's some guy, some actor that regularly plays in these types of movies that I look like, and that's the reason that people think, or that's the reason she would say what she said to me at the
you poker. Do. I'm blanking on the actor's name, Michael something, but yes, you do. You have it. I would lean into it. I mean, and this all started with you driving around, having your driver drive you around with the sunglasses on. You got the earbuds on now. You're tanned, and I think that people saw that episode from a few weeks ago, and they see it. They know you've put someone in the trunk of a car before.
This woman, I have bad news for you at the poker table, is not a Puck listener. So I
Not
don't
many
think it all
people
started
are,
there.
so she wouldn't be the first.
What a terrible
many
tragedy. I woke up to this news about the Dallas Cowboys player.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible. You just don't know what we say this all the time, and that Mike and I talked about it, and I'm sure that you know this. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. You just have no idea. No, absolutely zero clue. Just try to treat everyone with respect and be nice and everything. And even if someone snaps at you, whatever, you're just like, all right, that person's having a bad day. I don't know what's going on in their life. But yeah, it's tragedy. Really, really, really sad coming out of there. Out of Dallas there on the Marshawn Neela news there for the Cowboys. Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to start with it's Happy Free Agent Day. Are you ready? We got an hour and 20 minutes away. Right?
I'm
no,
glad
2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 hours and 20.
I'm glad that you bring that up because just before I went down to the car to get my sunglasses so that I could have sunglasses on when you introduced me. This is the kind of commitment that I have.
Yeah,
by the way, I'm doing these things and I'm telling you, I can't hear myself. I'm assuming you can hear me because you're responding. I hear you, but I don't hear me.
You can't hear. That's something weird. I think your eardrums are busted.
I want to. Do you use AirPods?
No, I told you I use these Bose.
No. I don't mean in the show. Do you use them with your phone? Do you ever talk? Okay, so when you're talking on your phone,
I'm yelling.
On AirPods, you don't hear yourself. I don't think they're designed for you to hear your own voice. I think you only hear the other person's voice.
Maybe you're right. Well, you sound great. You look great. This is the look I want. Okay, I don't want the big headphones anymore. I want the earbuds.
So before I went down to the car to get the sunglasses so that I could be on with you, I can't see you if I do that. It's so dark in here.
You want to look at me? Jesus.
Yeah, I do.
I see your ring camera.
I was on the internet. And I just finished the Danny O'Neill Ring the Bell
that we
just posted. And there was this Newsweek headline, Mariners lose 12-year veteran. I'm like, what? What?
First of all, did you say Newsweek?
Newsweek.
Newsweek is still a thing?
Newsweek.
Come on, it is not.
I will send you the headline. It's a Newsweek exclusive. Mariners lose 12-year veteran, and they're talking about Jorge Polanco, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We lost him. What do you mean the Mariners lost Jorge Polanco? Mariners didn't lose Jorge Polanco.
No, he did the right. He opted out of his option.
Yeah, but somebody tell Newsweek. That doesn't mean that they lost him.
First of all, how is Newsweek still around? It was like when I was a kid. My dad, I think, looked at Newsweek.
My dad got Newsweek delivered to the house.
And Time Magazine.
I'm telling you, there's a Newsweek exclusive out there that the Mariners have lost Jorge Polanco.
Well, they are dialed in that Newsweek. They always have been. When did they start covering sports, by the way? All right. So, and my math is terrible. I said 2 hours. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes. The deadline's at I know it's terrible. Math, not my strong suit. 2:00 today. They can sign Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco, Eugenio Suarez, all of them. What do you think?
What's the question?
I don't know. There's no question.
This is going swell.
Well, yeah. I read a article on the Athletic. And they put him they put Naylor at $92 million. 4 years, 92. I think it's going to be more than that. I think they're going to be 5 years, 100 million plus.
Well, I think to discuss free agency with the Mariners, you probably have to start with a report yesterday that's not a free agent report, but it has.
Have it on the rundown. You beat me to it.
I'm sorry. I'll go back.
That's okay. Go ahead. You've ruined it.
Well, is it Buster Olney who said it? I don't know. Yeah. Buster Olney apparently reported that the Mariners are going to make a big play for Tarik Skubal.
No, they're not.
There is so much about. I mean, I like Buster Posey. Buster.
His name's
Olney.
Buster Only, and you know what his freaking name is?
Buster Olney, not Buster Posey.
Only
Buster Olney. Buster Olney.
That's kind of a hard one to say now. Buster Olney. I can't really say it. But now you've got me. I can't say his name. Buster Only. Okay, I got it.
Not only.
Isn't it Only?
No.
What is it?
Olney. Buster Olney. Isn't it? I don't know.
I've been calling him the wrong name forever. And you're calling him Buster Posey. All right. Buster Posey said that the Mariners would be in on Tarik Skubal.
Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, but if Buster Olney said it, if Buster said it, it's got to be true. And does that excite you?
God, I've been thinking about how I'm gonna say this because I just know how it's gonna be. I'll be the only one that's gonna say this. It doesn't. It doesn't.
The only way that I'll accept you telling me that it doesn't excite you is if your next point is it doesn't excite me because they're going to pull him after 4 innings of the American League Championship Series
just
anyway.
Something sour in my sports fandom. I mean, I know I'm an idiot. He is the best pitcher in baseball. Something sours me about a guy that was excited to be taken out of an elimination game. He was excited about it. He's high-fiving guys.
I don't think that's
guys.
Fair.
He's high-fiving guys in the dugout. I did my job.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Go back and watch it. He was excited. He was removed from that game.
Do I have to remind you, Richards Road, Factoria, Tarik Skubal? That's not fair.
Long hair, Tarik.
He was very excited about the job that he'd done. He knew he was coming out. He wasn't celebrating his ouster from the game. He was celebrating the fact that he left, I believe, with a lead. Did he not lead with a lead? And he left.
If you're gonna acquire someone, and what is he gonna get? 400, 500 million, right? Something like that. That's what he's something. It's like in that ballpark. I gotta have a guy that is not looking at it and going, I'm at 100 pitches. I don't know if I can push through and go more. I just
Are you sure that that's the I mean, I think you're maybe this is the reason why you don't have a radio show anymore. I think you're mischaracterizing.
I really appreciate that, sir.
Are you sure that he feels that way?
Go look at his pitch count in his career.
Well, go look at hold on. Go look at what's the guy from Shoreline?
Buster Only.
Buster Only.
Blake Snell.
Look at his. Yeah. He doesn't ever get through 5 or 6 innings.
He pitched a complete game in the NLCS, like 2 of them.
Okay, but go look at his rundown of his. I mean, he starts. He goes 5, 6 innings. That's it. Are you saying that that's the only? You don't want him because of that?
Oh, really? No, it bugs me. That if I were a Tigers fan, that game 5 would have irked the shit out of me. Now part of it and a lot of it probably has to go to AJ Hinch and then how they view pitchers and would he come here? Would they do the same thing? I mean, it's an epidemic in all of baseball. I'm just thinking if you have a staff ace, that guy, I think we can agree on this one. This guy stays in the game and he stays in the game, stays in the game, stays in the game.
All right, no Tarik Skubal. I'm out on Tarik Skubal.
But are they going to
get
him?
I'm out on Tarik Skubal.
You think John Stan and Chris Larson would pay this guy $500 million?
If Buster Olney says it.
Yeah.
It's got.
How about you? You love him. So I wanted to ask you what your facial expression was when you read it. Just what was the word? How excited were you?
Well, what else would you be able to do if you were able to get him to come here? I mean, long term, you're going to give him. I mean, would that mean the end? That would be the end of Josh Naylor and everybody else, wouldn't it?
Well, because they govern themselves, though. They don't have to do that.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
They
Puck.
don't
Thank
have
you.
to do that.
Thank you
Well,
for explaining that to me. I didn't know that.
Hey, you don't have to be condescending. Mary out there didn't know that they govern themselves on a payroll. All right, I'm doing that for Mary. Yeah, if they under that, again, I want them to start acting like one of these big league clubs because I know they can afford it. Like, I want to know, I want the Seattle Times or someone to do a story on how much money did they make the start of the playoffs to the end. I'd like to know that number.
I would too.
Because then I'm like, spend that back into the team. It's like college football. Look at the college football rankings that came out. You have to spend to win to be at the top. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays are prime example. You have to spend money. They have to spend. So give me Naylor at $100 million. Give me Polanco. What is he? The Athletic Story, I'm at $30 million. Here's a guy that I'll throw out there, and you're going to be like, well, why would they need that guy? Well, I don't know. They need more bullpen arms. Give me Fast Eddie back. If money is my point is, if money is no option, if we lived in a world where John Stanton and Chris Larson woke up and said, money's no option, we're going to spend everything. Then give me Edwin Diaz back. Bring him back. I don't know. Figure it out with him, Munoz, and Brash. Have those three in your bullpen along with all the other guys. Can you imagine if they brought in, instead of Edward Bizardo, it was Diaz, or it was Munoz, and you still have Diaz in your back pocket? He's a free agent.
What do you think they will do if you were a betting man? Because I know what I would answer to that question.
Nothing.
No.
They're going to do nothing.
If your mortgage was on it, you would bet they're going to sign Naylor and not sign either Suarez or Polanco.
I have a weird feeling, a bad feeling. This is the first time Naylor's been able to ever experience this. I have no idea where. Maybe he wants to be closer to home, East Coast. His family's in Canada. I got a feeling that he ends up signing somewhere else. I hope I'm wrong. They get Polanco, and Polanco's the move.
Wait a second. Isn't Naylor the guy with the Kevin Durant toss-back jersey?
I believe so. Oh, so that's it. The guy that was here like Kevin Durant, he'll be here for 1 year and leave?
Isn't Naylor the guy who was on first base while he was playing defensively, telling runners at first base from the opposing team how much he loves Seattle and how the fans are unbelievable and the ground shakes when they cheer and the stadium shakes? Wasn't he that guy?
Since 1977, I was 2 years old when this franchise started. Ever since then, when I could remember watching and liking baseball, probably around 1980, I would say. This organization, every year I come into spring training excited, and then about a month or two happens, and I get let down constantly. I got a bad feeling. I just have a bad feeling that it's not that he doesn't choose Seattle, that he has something against them, but someone makes him a better offer.
Well, that's a very fair bad feeling. Because at the end of the day, unless it's really, really, really close, he's going where the money is. Every one of these guys is going where the guaranteed dollars are, where the years are. He's going where the money is. So if you've got a bad, sneaky suspicion that one of the other 29 Major League Baseball teams is going to offer him, let's say, irresponsible money, I think that's a fair concern, because if that happens, he's gone. Because the Mariners are not going to match what they consider irresponsible, silly money. And there is a chance that somebody says, you know what, Josh Naylor, that's exactly what we need. Josh Naylor is the difference between what we are now and being a world championship contender. Our owner is ready to spend. Let's just give him $20 million more total than he's worth. Not $20 million a year more. $20 million more over the course of a guaranteed contract than he's worth. And that when that happens, the Mariners are out.
I think you and I view sports at times very similar in life. And I wake up every morning wondering, how am I going to be let down or disappointed today?
There's a reason
And
why
you know
you
what?
stay home.
It's a terrible way to go through. I hope no one ever experiences it because it's awful. It's awful.
I was convinced Rashid Shaheed was going to pull a hammy walking into the VMAC for the first time, that he was going to come up a little lame and he'd be on the injury report as questionable for this week against the Cardinals.
Mitch, he's going to leave the first quarter with an injury. I'm not even going to allow myself to get excited about him.
If you were playing a game, let's play a game. When does Cooper Kupp make his next Seahawks catch?
Oh, I got to look at who they're playing. Well, they got the Cardinals next, Rams next.
What would you say the over? What's the over-under on when Cooper Kupp plays and makes his next Seahawks catch? And by the way, did Cooper Kupp, and I've noticed this on social media. I'll ring the bell because I just did a whole show with Danny O'Neill on how you have to love Mina Kimes, otherwise you're a terrible human being. Did you know that, right? You got to love Mina Kimes.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up because, again, this is why you and I think alike. This is the president of the I do not care for her fan club.
I don't know that I do not care. I'm somewhere in the middle. But
if you don't like her, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you don't like her because she talks football and you don't know what you're talking about. That's what pisses me off.
And it's times 10 in Seattle because she's a Seattle sports fan. I just went through this.
Is she?
I think she is. Well, she's from Seattle originally. Look, what I was going to say is, God, who were we just talking about? I'm having a senior moment.
Shaheed, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Cooper Kupp. I've noticed on a lesser scale something similar about Cooper Kupp. Oh. People don't want to hear negativity about Cooper Kupp. Seahawks fans don't want to hear it. Do not call him injury prone. Do not call him a waste of dollars because they immediately come back with he has been a teaching influence. What he has taught the other guys, he's worth his value, and then he doesn't ever have to catch another pass because what he's done intangibly for Torrey Horton and the rest. Did you see the way Cooper
on the sideline he had the surface tab? He's coaching all the time.
And he came to Jackson Smith and Jigba's defense when he did this or when he did that. Yeah, so Cooper Kupp is a little bit like that. You got to be careful. Be careful where you step on Cooper Kupp. But
I don't know.
By the way, did he get hurt did he get hurt in the bye week, like sitting at home, or what happened?
In practice. He got hurt in practice. That was the story. He had the heel thing, I believe, and then the hamstring in practice. So I got talking to Garafolo early, right before he came on it, and I bet you Lock and Four maybe has said the same thing to you. I don't know. I asked him because I said, hey, did they do the Shaheed deal because of Kupp? And he said no. He said, no, they would have done it anyways. They would have been talking for a while that they wanted to acquire him. It had nothing to do with Kupp's injury, but I don't know. We went into the season.
Well, I believe that, and I'll tell you why. Because we went into the season, and all of us said the same thing, which is without DK Metcalf, even with a healthy Cooper Kupp, if he's able to stay healthy, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, you don't have the home run threat. You don't have the guy that's going to be the burner, that's going to get behind defenses that defenses have to honor, and they can come up and kind of crowd the line of scrimmage. Yeah. What we didn't know back then is that Sam Darnold would be as good as he is, that the Seahawks would be 6-2, that the NFC would be gettable halfway through the season. I think we knew about the lack of a home run threat. We didn't know about all these other things. And now we're sitting here going, hold on a second. Why can't the Seahawks win the NFC? Let's go get the home run threat. So I actually believe Garafolo. By the way, where was Garafolo today?
His apartment.
Oh, he wasn't in the car?
No car. Car is usually reserved for the summer, spring visits when he's playing golf, when he's with his golf instructor. That's usually the case. And
I'm excited. You know what? I think that Sam Darnold on the first play from scrimmage, no matter whether he's double, triple covered,
throw it to him.
Just throw him a 60-yard haymaker. Just throw it. Throw it.
And he's out. He's running down the side like the 45, and all of a sudden, like he got shot from behind, pulls up. That's all I'm going to think about with Shaheed. I love the fact that he wears 22. I don't know why I like that so much. I just do. I like that he wears 22. It's cool, like a cool wide receiver number or something.
Can he wear 22 here or no?
Yeah. He is.
How about Dave Brown? What about
they didn't retire it, you know, and I'm surprised they haven't retired Dave Brown's number, actually.
He was great, Dave Brown.
Well, you know what, but somebody who wore it after him. Who's the running back that was always
the Virginia.
I was the president of the CJ Pro-Size fan club.
I think another guy, the Virginia guy that they got, Jones. Remember Jones? Was it Jones? The running back from Virginia? The University of Virginia running back who they got in free agency? What was his name?
Oh, but that was before Pro-Size.
Yeah, I think that's 22. Yeah. I think he was 20. I may be wrong. He might have been 22.
God, Pro-Size would have been good. God dang it. Just never could stay healthy.
The one
remember the New England game? Oh, God, he was so good. He was so good in the Patriots game.
What is CJ Pro-Size doing right now as you and I talk about him? God. Where is he?
You want me to look him up?
You wouldn't know where he is.
I have no idea, but let's just maybe Google does. You never know.
Where's CJ Pro-Size?
Can he raise the flag? Would he be okay to raise the flag? Would we welcome him back? They're kind of running out of people to raise the flag, don't you think?
Well, if I suggested on Twitter the following flag raiser for this week against the Cardinals, I'd get in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Just have Cooper Kupp raise the flag.
I love that. He had a last workout with the Falcons in 2021.
That's not what I'd asked. I asked, what's he doing? Is he,
I don't know.
Is he a banker? Is he a lawyer?
I don't know.
Is he a real estate agent?
Who knows?
Remind me, where did he go? Did he go to Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Is he in the Chicago area, going to business school? What is he doing?
I don't know. I'm going to find it out because now I'm going to be dwelling on this all day. All right. So is the Danny O'Neill episode out now? Where you talk about Mina Kimes? Is it out now? But when the show's over, I'm not going to ask you about it because I want to do something different because I don't want to talk about anything you've talked about on the other show. Okay,
it's out now
because I could spend an hour on this topic. By the way,
but I don't want you to misunderstand. It's just a small part of the show
okay.
Because I know Danny loves Mina Kimes, and Mina Kimes is involved in something that is just absurd, which is the whole Stephen A. Smith solitaire thing. I don't know if you're following this.
I saw a clip about it. Is he promoting He's promoting a solitaire app.
Now they're doing ads on solitaire. Meet Stephen Smith, and now she's part of it, and Dan Orlovsky is part of it. So I brought that up because I said to Danny about the 3/4 mark of the show today. I said to Danny, "You've got a problem," and he said, "What is it?" I said, this solitaire thing would be something that you would write 3 columns blasting, that you would take it apart, but you can't because you're in the bag for Mina Kimes, so it will be uncomfortable for you to write the scathing column that you would normally write because you love Mina Kimes.
Right. Did you talk about how she and this coach online, this Twitter coach got into it about
No, I don't know
about coverages and what type of pass plays that you defeat a certain coverage. Yeah, that was kind of the big talk last week on social media. This guy,
I feel like I'll just say this. When I was a kid, we all had peer pressure. There was always that group of kids in high school that tried to get you to do this. Yeah, and then in college, there was always the group of kids in college that were the cool kids that tried to get you to do that. And then when I graduated from college and I got into the radio business in Washington, D.C., there was always the group of Washington radio guys that try to pressure me into doing this. I was always very strong when it came to putting my hand up to peer pressure. But I can't handle the Mina Kimes pressure. I'm folding. I am crumbling. The Mina Kimes peer pressure is so overwhelming that I'm on board.
You're in.
I'm in.
You've given them. Well, because you guys share something in common. You share something. You have a belief. You share something with Mina Kimes.
I do. Well, I'd like to know what that is, please.
You both were carrying the flag for Geno Smith. You both thought that the Geno Smith moving on was a mistake for the Seahawks. Now, you've since come back, and I don't know, I think she probably has, and said, all right, it's working out now, obviously, with Sam Darnold. But it leads me to the Sam Darnold, because I've been listening all week to you.
Yes.
Big Ray Roberts. God, I love Ray Roberts. When you brought up the Virginia thing with Roberts, just tell him that son of a bitch and his team was so lucky to beat America's team. If we didn't have a guy signal a fair catch on a kickoff and get the ball at the 2, his stupid team is not even in discussion for the college football playoffs. Okay,
Puck,
tell him that next week.
Puck, I don't know how this happened, but somewhere along the way, somebody determined that Mitch Levy was going to have a lot of friends in life that went to the University of Virginia. It is totally random, but it starts with Ray Roberts, and there are actually names that you would recognize. I'm not going to drop names of guys that went to Virginia that are big shots at you, Virginia. I have to turn my fucking phone off.
Well, they're excited.
It's ridiculous. They are so excited. And it's weird because they're all very smart and they don't really know how to be excited. It's kind of dorky, nerdy, weird excited because it's Virginia. But I'm like, shut up. Just shut up about Virginia.
All right. So I'm listening to Ray. I'm listening to your other shows, and you're doing something. And I know what you're up to. You're doing an old little sports radio trick. And everybody that's been in the bit, everybody knows this trick. And I think our audience knows the trick too. Maybe.
Let me hear.
You're doing the, hey, a lot of people are saying out there, a lot of people in the NFL world, even some Seahawks fans are a little worried about Sam Darnold, that he can't maybe play like this all the time, that eventually maybe the bubble will burst. Maybe he'll turn into a pumpkin like he did last year. Remember last year at the end of the year? Remember he's playing great. At the end of the year, he falls apart.
I'm aware. I'm aware of what happened.
I'm thinking one Mitchell Reed Levy, in the back of his mind, thinks that it's going to happen at the end. Are you concerned?
I think you're overreading. I think you're overreading the conversation of Sam Darnold. I think what you have is what you and I both are, which is we wake up worried that we're going to get hit by a car. And so if you live life the way I do, yes.
Mine's a bus. If you're a bus.
Yes. I mean, I'm a beaten down sports fan. I'm waiting for the Dolphins to be good one freaking season since the Dan Marino years. I'm waiting. I mean, yes. Am I worried that Sam Darnold is going to be shit at some point this year? Yeah.
Yeah, you're worried that the Jets Darnold shows up, right?
I don't know if I worry about
but some people are, right? I think there's Seahawks fans out there that are worried that version of him is going to show up.
I don't know what that version isn't even worthy of a freaking second string job in the NFL. So I don't know that I worry about that. I guess what I'm trying to say is if this is all the 6-2 start is all going to end up in high seeds, home playoff games, and then radical disappointment because we get beat by somebody that we're not supposed. I'd rather them just lose every game the rest of the way starting now.
And
just lose. I don't want to go through it. I don't have the energy. I don't want to go through it.
If you're going to tell me now they're going to lose in the first round, I want to hand the keys over to Milroe now.
Forget it. Forget it. Let Drew Lock play. Just forget it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, this has been the show where I've promoted everything that's on your podcast. And you brought up something there that I had commented to Hotshot Scott about it. Listen, look at me. I'm going to look at you right now. You and Hotshot have no fucking idea what it's like to be a Cougar fan. You got no idea. Do you hear? Are you looking at me? You got no idea. You want to talk about waking up every day where you expect the worst to happen? I wake up every day Saturday and I sit down and watch that team, my favorite team, and I go, well, how are we going to fuck this up today?
But what are you referring to? Did I
You guys were talking about, I think in the you and Hotshot were talking about something about disappointment. Wait, what we're kind of just talking about. I think you brought up the Dolphins and it's something about you're waiting for the other shoe to drop with the Mariners, with the Seahawks. And you're like, I think Hotshot said, oh, it's kind of like being a Cougar fan. Something to that degree. And I sent Hotshot a note and I said, you don't have no idea. You don't know what it's like. You think waking up every day as a Mariners fan or as a Dolphins fan is hard? Hold my beer. Just times it by a million.
Do you think, let me ask you this as a reaction to that. On a scale from 1 to 10,
I say I don't like what you're going to do here. I don't like
10 being most interested in that text and that note, your thoughts about our show and something that we said on our show, and 0 being uninterested. How interested do you think Hotshot was to receive? I mean,
about as interested that you are when he sends you footages and videos of people being arrested. Okay.
Can you tell him to stop? Tell him to stop. He sends the most insane stuff.
Okay. I got a couple last things for you. Okay. One is a quick note. I'm tired of caring. Beat the boys. I'm leading the thing.
Are you still? I haven't looked.
I think so. Really, first of all,
Darnold.
Does your son know how it works to pick games?
He is an idiot, and he's never being invited back on.
I would never have him back.
He doesn't even pick them. He doesn't pick them. I don't understand. I don't understand what his problem is. Every year I ask him, are you going to pick him this year if I have you on? Oh, of course, Dad. And then he doesn't pick him. Notice that the password is Darnold.
Yes, I know.
This week, because I'm afraid that in future weeks I won't be able to
use it. Because it's going to be the Drew Lock era. A thought on, have you seen the story of Tom Brady cloning his dog? What the fuck are we doing, man? What? I mean, I have dogs. I think you have a dog. I've got 2 beautiful Labradors. One is 14. We're going to lose her soon. I know it's going to happen. She's the love of my life. I like her more than my family. Okay? I'm not going to clone her. I've had 14 of great years with her. But this freaking weirdo is cloning his dog. If you haven't seen the story, his dog passed away like, I don't know, is it 10 years ago? And he cloned the dog. He's brought the dog back. He's doing this because he's going to try and clone himself, I bet. Well,
Danny,
weirdo.
This was brought up on today's episode 356P.
I got nothing new.
And Danny said, isn't it against the law to do so? Can you just clone things now? I mean, isn't there some rule against it? And my comment was, if you told me that a celebrity cloned their dog and you didn't tell me who the celebrity was, I would get around to Tom Brady pretty damn quickly. He is just weird.
Weird.
He is strange. He's not normal. Okay. And that's coming from
guy who's not normal.
a guy who's about as least abnormal as you
but the plastic
have on your show.
Surgery and all of it, it's bad.
Just
All right.
too much. It's too much. He's weird. He's strange. By the way, do you like him on the broadcast? Is he good?
I don't know. He's not good.
The only guy who's worse is Greg Olson. He really irritates me. Greg.
Oh, he irritates a lot. Yeah, he irritated a lot of Seahawks fans this week with what he said. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Greg Olson.
All right. I feel now that if I bring this up, you and Danny have already discussed it. So I don't even know if I want to bring it up.
Bring it up.
Do you know who Matt Khalil is?
Danny and I have not discussed it.
Okay.
We did not discuss it. It's on the list for Hot Shot and I.
You want me to
coming Monday?
Okay. Would you like me not to bring it up and you and Hot Shot can discuss it?
No, because I think by you bringing it up, because this story obviously resonates with you. You have a serious issue. You have this similar issue in your household. That I think by you bringing it up and telling people who Matt Khalil is and the problem that he had, I think that will sell episode 357 more than me bringing up random musical references so Hotshot can get a kick out of the fact that he's listening to music that he likes. So tell everybody who Matt Khalil is.
Well, Matt Khalil is the envy, I think, probably of every man. Matt Khalil's a former offensive lineman. I believe he went to USC, had an NFL career. He was married to a Sports Illustrated supermodel, and her name was Haley Khalil. They ended up getting a divorce, and people are wondering why they ended up getting divorced. She's very beautiful, and she went on a podcast here recently and explained to get personal why she ended up getting a divorce from former NFL player Matt Khalil. She went on, she was so embarrassed because she didn't want to go into great details of why she ended up getting a divorce. She finally, with the host, ended up writing it on her phone to show the host why she ended up getting a divorce. The host then laughed in shock and then ended up discussing it. She got a divorce from Matt Khalil because, as she described on the podcast, is that when they were having sex, he was too big. She said it was like 2, maybe 3 Coca-Cola cans together. And that's why they ended up getting a divorce. So where most men in this country, your wife is saying, I could use a little more. He was saying it was too much. That's why they got a divorce. How about that? Matt Khalil. I think Matt Khalil right now is walking around with his fucking chest out going, Everett, come along. Come along. This is Dirk Diggler. This is Boogie Nights.
Well, there's such a thing as breast reduction surgery. Is there such a thing? I mean, this is something that, that you've been looking into also. Is there something known as
talked about that? I think she talked about it and said, I don't know if there actually is some procedure to make it smaller, but I think she did talk about that on the show. But unbelievable. And he's, you know what? Matt Khalil's doing pretty okay for himself. He is now he's now married to another supermodel, a woman by the name of Kalani Asmus. Great last name.
Doesn't there have to be the obvious question as to, did she not know this was the case earlier in the relationship? Did his male part get bigger as we went along? I mean, were there no warning signs?
Buyer beware when they did they dated. I don't know.
Was she holding out because of some religious thing before marriage?
So many questions.
Yeah, I got questions.
All right. Well, I will look forward to it this Monday there with Hot Shot Scott. Thank you, sir. It was a long edition. Sorry if we kept you too long.
Can I go back to these next week?
You can do it. Yes. No.
These suck.
Well, you do what you want to do. It's your life.
These suck.
I bid you adieu. Thank you, sir. There he is. Mitch Levy, another edition of KJ-Arent with Mitch Levy, host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Again, our weekly show airs in its entirety during the live daily puck drop. But again, once the live show is over, you must sign up to become a Puck's Posse member to listen to the full show at pucksports.com. All right, before we get to Hey, What the Puck, I was looking up this, and I was thinking about what happened on this day here, November 6th, as we wrap up the show. And we have a few more headlines to get to. On this day, November 6th, some big moments here, sports and non-sports. 1990, November 6th, David Justice wins the NL Rookie of the Year. At 24 years of age, he hit .282 that year with the Braves, 28 home runs. He drove in 78 runs that rookie year. He went on to play, of course, 14 years, 8 of those years with the Atlanta Braves, 4 years with Cleveland, 2 with the Yankees. Last season with the Oakland A's there in 2002. That final year, he was 36 years old. David Justice, he hit .266. Pretty good there for David Justice. Perhaps, of course, best known for being married to Halle Berry. What a lucky man. They were married for 4 years. They ended up divorcing in 1997 on this day, November 6, 1990. Also on this day, 1995. I remember this. This was a sad day, and it would happen to us years later here in Seattle. 1995, Art Modell officially announces the Cleveland Browns are moving to Baltimore. He cited that Cleveland was not providing a new stadium. They needed a new stadium. They wouldn't provide it, so he's moving. Public outcry was intense. You're losing a storied franchise, a very good franchise, a great fan base from Cleveland. The Browns were deactivated in the 1996 season. They will remain dark until they came back in 1999 as an expansion team, but it has not been good for the Cleveland Browns. How many different quarterbacks have they had? How many different head coaches have they had? They cannot find their footing since 1999. They've only been in the playoffs 3 times in the last 25 years. Before that, when I was growing up, the Cleveland Browns were one of the best teams in football. Certainly AFC, consistently in the AFC championship game from 1980 to 1989. Artie Schottenheimer and the crew, Bernie Kosar, Kelvin Mack, Ernest Biner. They made 7 playoff appearances. They were in the AFC Conference Championship game 3 different times, 2 of those times losing to the Broncos in heartbreak fashion. Finally, on this day, November 6, 1947. You know me, I love news, right? I love news programs. I do. I eat it up. NBC's Meet the Press debuts in 1947. Did you know this? It is the longest running show on television. The late Tim Russert, he was the longest running moderator for the program, spanning 16 years from 1991 until his sudden death in 2008. On this day, November 6th. All right, before we go, get you, hey, what the puck on tap tonight. Broncos 7-2, 4-0 at home. They host Pete Carroll and the Raiders 2-6 at Mile High. Thursday night football. Broncos favored by 8.5. Currently hold 1-game lead over the Chargers. 2 games up on the Chiefs in the AFC West. Again, 2 p.m. today. Officially the start of free agency in Major League Baseball. The Puppies Hoops team is in action tonight. 7 o'clock Big Ten Network. And if you're a golf addict like Jim and I, round 2 of the Abu Dhabi Championship takes place tonight. Golf Channel, 11 p.m. You're up late, need something to watch? Abu Dhabi Championship. Currently, there's a 5-way tie at 8 under. That includes Shane Lowry and Tommy Fleetwood. Rory McIlroy is 4 shots back. All right. We wrap up the show with Hey, What the Puck. It is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It is your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services, locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. If you're following the NBA, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. One of the early storylines in the league once again involves Ja Morant. It's not about guns. It's about him being what represents the absolute worst in sports and individual behavior. He has put himself above the team because he doesn't like his role. He doesn't like his playing time. And at the bottom and at the heart of the issue, he does not like his head coach again. And he has broken the cardinal rule of sports that he's put himself above the team, and he's made himself to be an ass once again. Currently, he's being paid $197 million over 5 years. It is clear that Ja Morant lacks the maturity to be a face of a franchise, to be a member of a team, and he flat out just does not get it. You go back to the gun arrest, the multiple times on video with guns, just doesn't get it. His father doesn't get it. His father's a terrible influence on him. He just has no idea what he's doing. And it's too bad because he's a hell of a talent. And that's why he keeps getting opportunities. And that's why Memphis will probably end up firing their head coach, despite him being a good coach, despite him being someone that in the NBA circles respects for his attention to detail, how he handles substitutions, how he handles plays, how he handles a basketball team. Because what are you going to choose? You're going to choose the guy that no one's ever heard of before or a guy that you're paying $200 million to. That is a generational talent. And he is. He's a generational talent, but he's a generational F-up as well, is Ja Morant. If you're another team, if you trade him, do you want him? Well, of course you want him because you're the team that thinks you can change him. You're not going to change him. No one is ever going to change Ja Morant. Ja Morant has to change himself. And at this point in his life and his career, he has not done that. But he represents the absolute worst in an individual in team sports. All right, that's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. It's a restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them, restoration1.com, North Seattle franchise. Thank you for everyone watching and listening today. Thank you to all our sponsors, Limbeck Lumber, Zogs on Fox Island, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, Georgetown Brewer, and, of course, Restoration One. Find today's Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube. When you're there, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Also find it on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, does not matter. And you can find everything up at pucksports.com, including joining the Pucks Posse for as little as $5 a month. Your support is very much appreciated. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. God, it's already Friday. A Friday edition of the show. Jim Moore is back. Chris Egan is here. What else do we got? We got Todd Millis, Friday Night Lights. Playoffs start tomorrow in high school football. Bob Condotta's here, last word. And our handicapper, Troy Wins, on a jam-packed football Friday tailgate show. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!